Katie VanValin, and on this week's episode of Beef Minutes, I'm going to talk to you about a research project that we've got going on here at the University of Kentucky Research and Education Center, where we're looking at two different methods of finishing cattle. The first method is cattle that are in confinement on more of an intensive management program. The other cattle are out on pasture in a hybrid grain on grass program. So every 28 days these cattle come in, we get a weight on them, but we also get an ultrasound backfat measurement. And we've been tracking that all the way through their feeding trial. And so I wanted to show you how we get the ultrasound backfat measurement and how we utilize that data. So when the steers come in to the chute, we take the clippers and clean up a spot over the rib space. And then similar to human ultrasound, we use gel. We are using vegetable oil, but we put that on the spot on their back. And that just helps the probe have better contact with the skin of the animal so that we get a better reading. So this is our ultrasound probe, and I'll come in here and I'll feel the rib spaces. And then I've got my prepared spot here, and I'm basically just coming down and I'm looking on my screen until I get an image that I like, and then we'll get that image frozen and we can take a measurement on the backfat.
So this is the ultrasound image that we get from ultrasounding our cattle, and so we can pinpoint where that fat layer is and get a measurement. So we pinpoint the top and then drag down and put another point at the bottom of that fat layer, and then it estimates what the back fat thickness is of that animal. So the steer that we were ultrasounding this morning weighed 1,440 pounds and had a back fat thickness of 1.2 centimeters or about 0.45 inches. And so typically we say anywhere from 0.4 to 0.5 is a finished beef animal. And so certainly this steer falls into that category. So he'll be going to our meat lab soon. On campus, he'll be harvested and we'll be able to collect carcass data. So what we've been doing is weighing these guys, getting back fat estimates. We also have another ultrasound technology that we'll use right before they go to the meat lab that can estimate marbling score. And so we will do that as well. One of the things with all of these different ultrasound technologies that we're utilizing is that sometimes they're not entirely precise. So just because I ultrasounded that steer to have 1.2 centimeters, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually had maybe more or less than that at the meat lab. But it should help us be able to rank these steers so we can get the most finished ones to the meat lab first and allow some of this cattle that are maybe not quite as finished, give them a little more time to get finished. And so same thing with the marbling score technology. It certainly can be used to rank cattle, even if that marbling score ultrasound tells me that that animal should grade prime. I wouldn't always be shocked if it didn't grade prime when I got to the meat lab and saw the carcass. However, if it said that this animal should grade prime and this animal should grade choice, and they ended up grading choice and select, that wouldn't surprise me. So it can be really a useful tool when we're comparing animals, and also useful for the type of projects that we're doing with some of our finishing work. So I hope you all enjoyed a little discussion about some of the research and projects that we're doing here at the UK Research and Education Center in Princeton, as well as seeing some of the technology that we use to collect this type of data. So that's been this week's episode of Beef Minutes, and we'll see you next time.